Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. In this video, I will be discussing the Revachur interview experience. Now, this interview experience happened on 5th June 2021. Guys, I have already uploaded two videos of interview experience of Revachur which happened on 2nd June as well as which happened on 3rd June. So guys, make sure that after watching this video, you watch those videos as well so that you can get to know the level of the questions which are getting asked. Guys, if you are new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe it as well as join my Telegram group also. The link of the Telegram group is given in the description box. I post several updates on different companies which are hiring as well as the different kind of questions which are getting asked in them. So make sure that you do not miss those updates and are present in my Telegram group. Guys, recently I have arranged lots of discount coupons for you on Geeks for Geeks courses. If you are interested in buying any of the Geeks for Geeks courses, you can use my discount coupon and you will get a flat 10% off on any course which is present on the Geeks for Geeks platform. The discount coupon is given in the description box. So just make sure that if you want to buy any course, you use that discount coupon so that you can get a good discount offer on that course. So guys, now let's start this video, and before starting the video, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button for this channel. Okay, so the branch of the interviewer was CSC. Now date of this interview is 5 June 2021. Duration is 20 minutes. Okay, so the first question was the self introduction, that is tell me about yourself, and it is, you know, that it is a very common question that can be asked in an interview. So you must prepare about a self introduction so that, and you have to place all the good skills that you are comfortable with in that particular section. Okay, so prepare your self introduction thoroughly. Now the second question was on basis of data structure only. Now next few questions are based on data structure only. So question was, what is linked list? So we all know that a linked list is a linear data structure in which the elements are not stored at contiguous memory location like an array. So in this, the elements are not stored in a contiguous memory location. So a linked list is made up of nodes, and every node consists of two things. One is the data thing and another one is the address thing. Now data thing consists of like integers or any values, but the next pointer, it contains the address which can be pointed to the next node. So this is what a structure of linked list is. So I hope this is clear to you. Okay, so next question was real-time use of linked list. So as if you are following my interview experiences, you must have known that many of the questions in this video also are repeated. So if you will watch all these videos, then for sure your 80% interview will be cleared. Okay, so real-time use of linked list. So here there are two uses. See, if we are scrolling in web pages, web browsers, so we can go to previous and next page in web browser. We can access the previous and next URL search in the web browser by pressing the back and next button. So you know that when we are in a web browser, there are two buttons. One button is to do back and one button is to do forward. So that is based on the linked list concept only. So this is one type of real-time use of linked list. Now the second use of linked list is in the music player. So again, when you are listening to a song, you can either move backward to that song and you can move the song in the front of that particular song. So again, in that particular thing also a linked list is used. So these are the two real-time use of linked list. Now the next thing is application of data structure. So yes, there are lots of data structures, like there are an array, linked list, stack, queues. So you have to learn at least two applications of every DS. So where stacks are used, where queues are used. So you have to read the at least two application of every DS that is present. So I will give you the link in the description box for different DSs, and you can simply study it from there. Okay. Next question is, what is tree traversal and its type? So again guys, this question is repeated from previous interview only. So first of all, what is tree traversal? So see, this is a tree. You can say this is a binary tree, and see, when we have to do any operations on this tree, then we have to traverse this tree. So for that, there are total three type of traversal which are present in the tree. First is the pre-order traversal, then is the post-order traversal, and then there is the in-order traversal. Okay, so in pre-order traversal, first the root is taken into account, then the left node is taken into account, and then the right node is taken into account for traversing. Now in post order, first the left node is taken into account, then the right node is taken into account, and then in the last the root node is taken into account for traversal. And the last traversal is in-order traversal. So sorry, I have written it wrong here. In in-order traversal, first is left node taken into account, then there is root node that is taken into account, and at last there is right node which is taken into account. So these are the three common traversals which are present in the trees. So I hope this is clear to you. Now next question was, which OOPS language you are comfortable with? So my friend told Java. Now next few questions are based on the OOPS concept in Java. So first of all is the method overloading and method overriding. What is method overloading and what is method overriding? So again this question has also been repeated in many interviews. So see, method overloading. Method overloading is providing two separate methods in a class with the same name but different arguments. So this much thing is only for interviewer, that method overloading is we have to define two functions which are different from each other but their name are same. And how they are different? The number of arguments are different in both the functions. Now, and one more thing they can differ, that is the return type of function. For one function the return type can be int, and for another function the return type can be string. So again this is method overloading, that is defining two different functions with the same name which have different arguments, different number of arguments, or different return type. Now what is method overriding? See, method overriding means defining a method in a child class that is already defined in the parent class with the same method signature, same name, same argument, and same return type. See, we know that in inheritance the child class inherits from the parent class. Now in parent class, let's suppose there are two functions, and in child class also there are two functions. So in child class the same method is overridden. So if let's say there is a function called def in parent class and another there is a function called def in the child class, then when will you using a child class, then def will override the parent class def. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Again you can read it from the read it from other sites for get a better understanding. Now next is what is abstract class. Okay, sometimes we may come across a situation where we cannot provide implementation to all methods in a class. Now abstract class cannot be instantiated. An abstract class contains abstract methods, concrete methods, or both. So see, what are abstract classes? So first of all, to understand what are abstract classes, we have to understand what are abstract methods. See, when we are defining a function, we give the name of the function and then we define the body of the function. See, if only we define the name of the function and we do not define the body of the function, then that method is known as the abstract method. And if in a class there is one such abstract method is present, only one, at least one abstract method is present, then that class is also known as abstract class. So this is what the entire concept of abstract class is. And these are two properties of abstract class, that is abstract class cannot be instantiated, and abstract classes can contain abstract methods as well as they can contain concrete methods also. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now the next question is, what is the use of extends keyword? So again this is the question based on Java only. When we do inheritance, then we use the keyword extends for doing inheritance. Now the extends keyword extends a class, indicating that a class is inherited from the another class. So when we are inheriting the class, we use extends keyword for the inheritance to take place. Now next questions were little bit based on HTML and CSS. It was mentioned in his resume that he has done a course in web development. So these were certain questions. Now first question was difference between margin and padding tag. So you can see that this is a box model and this is content, then there is padding, then there is border, and then there is margin. So I think this image is also self-explanatory that what is a padding and what is a margin. So you can simply explain to the interviewer regards on this box model only. Now next question is formatting tags. See, there are lots of formatting tags which are present in HTML. I will not be explaining the tags. I will give you the link in the description box. You can read from that particular section. Now I will give you an example, like formatting tags are those like we have done bold, our text has been done bold, italics, or underline. So these are the example of formatting tags only. So you can explain them to the interviewer. Now the next question is, how many ways can you insert CSS in HTML? So we know that there are total 3 types of CSS which are given below. Okay, so there are total 3 types of CSS. First is the inline CSS, that is we are styling the tags. Then is the internal CSS, that is defined inside the head tag, and last one is the external CSS. In this we create a separate CSS file and then we integrate it with the HTML file. So these are the 3 types of CSS present in HTML. Now there are certain questions which are based on DBMS also. So first question is very common, that is types of join. So again there are many types of join which are present, but 2 main types are, one is the inner join and second one is the full join. And I have explained entirely this procedure in the previous interview also, that happened on 3rd June. So these are the concepts. Inner join is we have to take only those rows in the tables which are common in both the tables. Full join is we have to take all the rows which are present in both the tables, either they are common or they are left alone. Now left join and right join are only the parts of full join only. So if you want to get into detail, you can see my previous video. Now next question is, what is a tuple? Again, tuple is nothing but tuple is defined as a row in a table that is present in the database. So tuple is known as the row that is present in the table. So we know that there are lots of data which is present in the table, and one such row is known as a tuple in the database. So I hope this is clear to you. Now the last question of this video is, define DDL and DML commands. So see, what is DDL command? DDL is data definition language. That is, it defines the structure of the table. Let's suppose how many columns are there in the table, how many, you can say what is the data type of a particular column. So these are all things which are taken care by DDL commands. Whereas what is DML command? See, DML commands are responsible for manipulating the data present inside the table. So for example, we have to update any column, we have to delete any column. So these are only the DML commands. That is, those are only responsible for the manipulation of the data which is already stored in the table. But DDL commands are responsible for creating the structure of the table, like how many columns are there, what are the data types of that column. So these are all responsible for the DDL commands, like which column has to be given primary key, which has to be given foreign key. So these are all responsibility of the DDL commands. And if you want to know more on these commands, you can simply visit Geeks for Geeks, and I will give you the link in the description box for the same. So I hope this all questions are clear to you. Guys, make sure that you watch previous two videos also, because lots of questions are getting repeated from the experiences I have shared. So guys, this was it for this video. I hope you liked the video. Make sure that you subscribe this channel as well as join my Telegram group also. Thank you for watching this video.